Hello everybody, my name is RaealTheProtogen and welcome to another Q&A video. I decided it was time for me to go through some of your questions you guys have been asking on the channel and in the Discord server and answer some questions you guys have been asking me. As always, you can ask me any questions whatsoever in the comments below or join our Discord server. A link is also below for that. And maybe in the next Q&A video, your question will be answered. That being said, let's get things started off by answering some questions. Squirrel asks, who's your favorite non-furry YouTuber? Honestly, it kind of changes from time to time, but I think if I had a favorite non-furry protogen, it's probably got to be Markiplier. Over the years, he's been consistently my favorite YouTuber, doing some of my favorite projects, like he's got Iron Lung coming out soon, and I'm looking very much forward to that. But on top of that, he's just been consistently a good guy and, you know, a good role model for something that I want to do with my own channel. I want to make content like he does. I want to have fun like he does. I want to do things like he does. And I've modeled a lot of myself and what I do after what he does. And I'm sure you can see that. The amount of times I've had Markiplier moments on the channel, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. Red Ranger asks, when do you do VRChat meetups? So previously I used to only do meetups for patrons because the channel was just too big and there'd be too many people trying to join, and I felt really bad that I couldn't really meet everybody or get pictures with everybody. But recently, because of my new community manager, I've made the dedication to do one community event where anybody can join on the last Saturday of every month. But part of why I wanted to do this is because I feel like I can manage the community a little bit better now. Before I really couldn't when there was so many people, and we've got some really good rules and really good people in place to help kind of mitigate any sort of problems we have. And honestly, it is genuinely a pleasure to meet you guys. As long as you're in the Discord server, we announce it down there. So again, make sure you click on that link below to join. But if you want more than that one meetup a month, join my Patreon because we do 2 community meetups every month with my patrons. And those events are usually recorded events that might make their way into videos here on YouTube. Ceiling Fan asks, I asked this out of curiosity, do you ever think you'll do a face reveal? If you have already, then I'm just dumb because I don't have any other socials, but I'd like to know if it ever crossed your mind. There's actually a few videos on the channel that have a face reveal. One of them's the highlight video that I recently did with Raeal out of context, and the other one was an old meme stream from years ago at this point. So I've done it a few times. I definitely haven't hidden my face from the channel. It's just I prefer to show this face because I like having my face covered, apparently. The nanites feel good on my skin. Because of this month of streaming, I'm doing an event where like every 20 gifted subs somebody gives me on Twitch. I'm doing a hot sauce challenge with the First We Feast Hot Ones kit. And every time I have to take a dab or a sip of hot sauce or like, you know, eat a spoonful of hot sauce, I've been going to my live camera so that people can see my actual reaction when I take the hot sauce. There might be a highlight video with the hot sauce challenges coming soon, but if you can't wait and you want to see it, come by Twitch, give 20 subscribers. Every 20 subscribers, I'm rolling a D10. I have to take a sip of hot sauce, whatever it might be. From 1 to 10 is mildest to hottest, and it has already been a nightmare. The Adventure Deer asks, hey Raeal, how do you balance streaming and video content with day-to-day life? It always seems stressful to me, especially since you can't really stop for an extended period of time or else you lose your audience. Or so I believe. Just how do you do it? Truth be told, I don't really have a good balance for this yet. I spend probably 16 hours of my day working, and you can ask anybody that's close to me, I spend a lot of time working. And that time working is either spent working on stream stuff or YouTube stuff or, you know, trying to figure out how to do a work-life balance. It's really hard. But at a certain point, you have to kind of ask yourself the question, what do I want to focus on? What is most important? And for me right now, it's streaming. So I've been putting basically 95% of my effort into streaming, and the other 5% goes into the YouTube videos and, you know, managing the YouTube account and everything like that. But as of right now, there's not really any sort of balance. You have to kind of give yourself office hours, like, hey, I'm going to be done working at this time, and you got to give yourself a hard cutoff, or else it's a nightmare when you're in my kind of position. You're trying to manage like 3 or 4 or 5 different platforms at once. It's your job. It's how you make your livelihood. So you got to be careful about how you sort of handle things. Matthew Carter asks, what's the stupidest AI you've encountered in a video game like they only have one brain cell? Cat from Halo Reach. The simple fact that they made Cat's AI worse for driving in the Master Chief Collection of Halo Reach should tell you something. QX asks, as a furry content creator, what would you say is the biggest difficulty for furry creators on platforms like YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, etc.? Do you feel like it's possible for a furry creator to gain a non-furry audience, or will they mostly only get traction within the community itself? I don't believe that you'll only ever have a furry audience. I know this channel specifically does not only have a furry audience. We have basically all walks of life that come into this channel and watch my videos. It's entirely dependent on how you carry yourself. Yes, if you are going to focus on furry topics and, you know, fursuits and furry convention things, and if you carry yourself as a furry content creator, the majority of your subscribers are going to be furries and you won't really break out of that niche. But if you look at this channel, I don't typically cater to just a furry audience. I cater to pretty much everybody. I make videos that I would watch, and I don't really consume furry content. I don't watch furry convention videos. I don't watch persona reviews. I don't watch videos like that. I don't like making stuff like that. And truth be told, I don't fit in with a lot of the normal quote unquote furry crowd because I don't carry myself that way. I carry myself like a person that also happens to be a furry. And I think that's what connects a lot of people to my specific content. Furry is just a hobby for me. It's not an identity for me. And that's not to say that being a furry, making furry content, and pandering to other furries is a bad thing. If that's genuinely what you enjoy doing, go for it. A stream user asks, what kind of games do you play outside of YouTube? I typically play really long games that are way too slow for stream, but something that I want to sink some time into as a hobby. One of the recent games I just finished playing was a game called Ghostwire Tokyo. And honestly, it's probably the best game I've played in the last 5 years, in all honesty. It had a lot going for it. I learned a lot about Japanese culture because of it, and it was really fun. And on top of that, it was a really fun game to play with like no bugs, which I know Bethesda title, no bugs, that's wild. Mia asks, how would you go about convincing someone they should join the furry fandom, assuming they had no prior knowledge of it? You don't. Simple fact of the matter is, you don't force anybody to be something that they aren't aware of. And truth be told, you can't force them to be into something that you are. All you can do is show them the stuff that you like about it. Maybe it turns them on to it, but you should never try to jam it down their throats because that's never going to end well. All you can do is be yourself, show the parts of the fandom that you like, and if they like it, they like it. Maybe they join, maybe they don't. That's totally fine. Carl asks, what's your favorite cartoon series, like inappropriate or appropriate? I will watch it. In terms of anime, I would say either Attack on Titan or Monster Musume for reasons. And in terms of like American cartoons, OKKO was a surprisingly very wholesome show that I really enjoyed. Courage the Cowardly Dog, return the slab. Virus asks, where do you get your ludicrous ideas from? Not exactly sure what you mean by ludicrous. I'm assuming you mean, where do I get the ideas for the VRChat videos I post to the channel and stuff like that? Truth be told, it's ADHD. I've been trying to really work on my improv to make things funny. I never really go into VRChat with a plan. It's also a double-edged sword though, because it ends up turning into 6 hours of footage that I have to now edit into a 10 to 15 minute video. But all of my stuff's unscripted. It's just bouncing off my friends and, you know, kind of taking the humor and the absurdity from the areas around me, making a video about that, and then titling the video about that. So it's more like my videos are just improv. They're all my videos are improvised. Goober asks, is your OC made by you or from an artist? Raeal is based off of the NKD-Protogen. That's when I first made Raeal. So the original design of Raeal is definitely based off an existing model, but I came up with the character design completely on my own. Raeal exists in its current form from my brain hole. My brain hole do smart things sometimes. CD Player asks, are you forklift certified? If so, what other machines can you operate? I am actually forklift certified. I'm certified to operate the following heavy equipment: rough terrain forklifts, warehouse forklifts, skid steers, track loaders, genie boom lifts up to 120 feet, rough terrain scissor lifts, and warehouse scissor lifts. On top of all that, I'm also certified in the state of South Carolina to operate digging equipment such as excavators. And not just the small excavators, like big excavators. Basically, I know where and how to bury the body. Game asks, what made you change YouTube content from funny VRChat to random game videos? I'm gonna be real with you guys, I got tired of VRChat. VRChat's been putting a lot more work into super gimmicky stuff versus actual useful in SDK stuff. And with recent firings from game devs working on Udon systems, I really don't have a lot of faith in the platform anymore. And so in my mind, VRChat's days were kind of numbered in the form of like, if it could still be useful content. I admittedly wanted to branch out and see if I could do other content. For the most part, yeah, I can. I put more of a focus on stream stuff. I put more of a focus on, games I enjoy playing and everything like that, like My Furry Protogen and Date to Die For, but also other random games like indie games that I've been meaning to play for a long time that I thought were really good. Are these videos as popular on the channel? No, absolutely not. Also, a lot of that is YouTube screwing me over. I'll have a video on that soon because it's pissing me off. But for the most part, I wanted to see if I could do something other than VRChat, and I think I've proven that I can. I'm happier with my content now than I've been in the last like 2 years, but also it was a hard shift away from VR content, so I might be integrating more content from Resonite or Chill Out VR because those platforms have a lot of potential and they seem to be working on stuff for the users rather than super gimmicky stuff like VRChat's been doing. To tell you the state of VRChat, they implemented a boops feature where you could boop a friend who's in a completely different world and make emotes spawn in their face and overstimulate them before they implemented a messaging system, which could work off the same system. Or fix their infrastructure so the API doesn't break every third update. Our next question comes from Newt, who asks, Raeal, why do you sound like Markiplier? I have been getting this a lot lately, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think I mentioned earlier on in the video, Markiplier is a huge inspiration for me and like who I want to be and what I want to be doing. So I'm assuming that because ADHD brain, I have taken some of his vocal stems and I've made them into my own vocal stems, and without realizing it. And subconsciously, when I'm playing like a horror game, I always slip into a sort of Markiplier sort of character, which is really weird. But if you'd come join me on stream on Twitch, you'll see it for yourself that I slip into voices like Plankton, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Markiplier, fucking all sorts of different characters while I'm streaming. I'll do anything but be myself. Brandon asks, what are your favorite unexpected moments or surprises that you've encountered either on your streams or just in your general life? That was when I think we've raised a total of $10,000 or $20,000 just through this channel alone for charity because of the Cursed Halo charity races and with my partnership with other charities in the past. I think we've raised a total of $20,000 total on the channel just alone. That's without help from really anybody else other than you guys. I think that's my favorite moment of the channel because that kind of shows me that we can make a really big positive difference if we all just get together and support those causes. Taylor asks, Raeal barbecue stream when? Hey, come check out the Twitch because if I get to a certain sub goal, we will be doing a barbecue stream. Lieutenant Silver asks, I've heard that later on you plan to start your own merch company. Will the merch that you used to sell on Boss Monster be available there once it's up and running? Unfortunately, no, because I do not own any of the artwork through Boss Monster. I've tried to get the artwork from them and they aren't budging on it. So unfortunately, I have to do all my own artwork again. And you guys won't be able to see anything from Boss Monster anymore after whatever we have left sells out. So that includes Juno merch, that includes everything from myself. So if you haven't gotten yourself a pin or a Daki yet or a Juno plushie or anything or a Daki Makura, go to bossmonster.com. It's the final sale of everything. That is all you get. But when I start my own merch company, you guys will be the first to know here on YouTube as well as Patreon. We'll get a discount on any merch that I am providing. There's going to be redraws of some previous artwork, but they have to be different in order to not violate copyright because yes, apparently I can get copyright striked for drawing art of my own character. But in order to comply with it, we're going to be changing some stuff up. So unfortunately, no, any artwork from Boss Monster is going to be completely unavailable and there's nothing I can do about it. That's pretty much all on Boss Monster right now. Twilight asks, is it easy being a streamer? Oh man, it is the hardest job in the world. Sometimes I wake up, I'm exhausted. So I go lay down and take a 20-minute nap. Then I wake up and I respond respond to a couple Twitter posts, and then I take a 20-minute nap because I'm just so tired from all the hard work. Then I wake up and I do a stream for 3 hours, but at the end of that stream, I'm socially exhausted and tired from all the hard work I've been doing. My body is physically drained, so I lay down and take a 2-hour nap. When I wake up, I work on Twitch clips and I work on getting stuff out there, but because I've spent so much mental power working on clips and getting stuff out, I get tired and I go lay down and I take another 20-minute nap before I finally wake up again and end my day by eating some dinner and then going to bed because I'm so exhausted from all the hard work of the day. Please tell me you understood the sarcasm. Streaming is the easiest job I've ever had. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's hard managing everything all at once because I'm not only doing streaming, I'm also running 2 businesses and I'm trying to get the YouTube thing going, streaming thing going, Twitter, manage my Twitter and social medias and everything. It gets a little overwhelming sometimes, but it's by far from the hardest job in the world. I've worked in construction before. I ran a paint shop before. Like, compared to those 2 jobs, this is easy. That's why I love this job so much, because 1, I get to do what I love, and 2, I don't have to destroy my body to do it, you know? I make a living cosplaying as Jimmy Neutron's pet dog, Goddard. Anybody who says that streaming is hard is either 1, never worked a real job, or 2, is completely out of touch with the real world. Emojo asks, what was the main influence for your current style of videos? I am curious. I'm gonna be real with you guys and say that it has been Shy Lily. For those of you that don't know, Shy Lily is an orc cat VTube streamer who inspired me originally to get into the realm of 2D VTubing. She is the one that kind of convinced me why 2D VTubing is really freaking cool and why I decided to try it out. Now, my current style of videos is based off of her because she's funny, she's organic, she makes amazing content, she's horny, but like, who isn't nowadays? I've seen those gacha pulls. I see what you try to do with them. In all honesty though, she's a big inspiration to what I want to do with Twitch and YouTube right now, and honestly, it's been really fun trying to kind of work that into my normal content and try to make it my own thing. Obviously, I don't want to copy somebody entirely, but inspiration and copying are 2 totally different things. And Shy Lily, if you're watching this in the future, either on a clip or something, I hope you know that you've been a huge inspiration and I love your content, and I hope you keep doing what you're doing because you're doing fucking fantastic, and I'm sure your chat will agree to that. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this Q&A. I hope I answered some questions that you might have had, or maybe you didn't have, but they got answered anyway, and you're like, oh, cool, neat. As always, if you want to ask your own questions, join our Discord. A link is down in the description below, or ask your questions below this video. We'll probably do these videos once a month or so, but in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Share this video with your friends. Make sure to leave a like because it lets YouTube know you like this kind of thing. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you get notified of my next video upload. It's going to be a VRChat video. I hope you're excited because it's really good. Thank you for watching though. I'm RaealTheProtogen, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye! As soon as I stop recording and I'm done recording, my Windows breaks. Good, great, perfectly in tune with Protogen problem!